You had $200. Now you have $14 and a DoorDash receipt. Where did the other $186 go? The system is already running the numbers while you were still deciding what to order. Your brain treats money like separate jars, even though it's all just numbers in the same bank. The system knows you'll spend the fun money first, then wonder why bills is empty. Handing over cash feels real. Tapping your phone feels like nothing. That gap in your brain is where the system makes its move every single day. Each service costs less than your lunch money, but they stack up like a silent avalanche. The system collects your forgotten trials and turns them into monthly rent payments. That jacket costs 4 lattes, but suddenly the shirt feels like a steal. The system knows the high price makes your brain accept the lower one as reasonable. That checkbox was already ticked before you even knew what you were buying. Your brain skipped the boring part and went straight to convenience. Each loot box hits your dopamine like a slot machine that knows exactly how much to pay. The system doesn't need to trick you twice when the first trick feels this good. You see friends posting about expensive restaurants, and suddenly that $200 in your account feels like it should cover the same lifestyle. Social proof makes you spend to keep up, and that's how your money disappears before you even realize what happened. Netflix, Spotify, gym, meal kits, each seems small, but they accumulate into a massive monthly drain you barely notice. These subscriptions always seem reasonable until you see them all together. That's the creep that empties your account. That 50% off sign makes you think you're saving money, but the original price was inflated to begin with. Anchoring bias always distorts your perception. You spend based on the fake reference point, not real value. That pre-checked box for extended warranty? It's designed so you'll pay without thinking. Defaults always win through laziness. Status quo bias makes you accept the default, and that's how you always end up paying for things you never wanted. Tapping your phone feels nothing like handing over cash. That's the pain gap that makes you spend without feeling it. Digital payments always remove the psychological pain of spending, which is why your account empties faster than you expect. You mentally label money as fun or serious, and that's how you always spend recklessly in the fun bucket. Arbitrary mental accounts lead to irrational spending. You'll guard rent money, but blow through fun money flat out. That countdown timer creates panic buying. Artificial scarcity always forces you to spend before you think. Limited time offers bypass your rational brain every time. That's how you always end up buying things you don't need. You think a daily latte is just $7, but that $7 every single day becomes $2,500 a year. The system knows you'll always spend it. That's the latte factor. Small spends? Always there, flat out stealing your future. And they'll give you a card to make sure you keep coming back. Your wallet's empty, the system's counting its winnings. You know all the tricks, but you still reach for your phone. Why? Because the system is designed to win, always. This is the victory. They've got you. But awareness gives you a slight edge in this losing battle. You'll lose slower, maybe catch yourself before you tap Buy Now. A free trial? Sounds harmless. But that $15 a month creeps in, auto-renews, and suddenly you're paying for a gym you never visit. That's $2,500 a year. Gone. The subscription creep drains your budget, one small auto payment at a time. They always win, but now you know the button they're pressing. Virtual items feel less real, right? But that $20 purchase, triggered by a limited time pop-up, is designed to exploit your FOMO. The system gamifies spending to drain your wallet. Digital microtransactions always find a way to make you spend. They create urgency, make it feel like a game, and you lose track of real money. Flat-out manipulation. 5 stars? Must be good. But those reviews are fake, manufactured social proof to make you spend $50 on a hoodie you don't need. The system always uses validation to drive sales. Social proof spending adds to your debt, always. They display fake validation to make you feel like you're missing out. And you keep buying, flat out trapped by the crowd. A $15 coffee? That's insane. But seeing that price first makes the $12 option feel reasonable. That's anchoring the system sets a high reference point to distort your perception of value. The anchoring effect always works. They introduce a premium option to make the regular price seem cheap. And you spend flat out convinced you're getting a deal. Pre-selected? That's the path of least resistance. The default option overrides your intentional decision-making, making you choose the pricier plan without thinking. That's an extra $30 a month, always. The default option trap highlights how easily you're manipulated. They reset the scene to a new spending environment, and you keep paying, flat out, because it's easier than changing. A flashing timer screams only 3 left, making the $40 sneaker feel like a must-have. Even though it blows the budget, the purchase instantly adds to the credit card balance. The screen pushes a $1,200 deluxe model, setting a high anchor for the cheaper option. That makes the $800 laptop look like a bargain, and the expense jumps onto the monthly ledger. A $1,200 vacation feels painful, so the traveler hesitates at the ATM. The agent splits it into 3 smaller payments, easing the sting while still charging the card. A flood of app alerts reveals hidden monthly fees for streaming, gym, cloud storage, and apps. The system reminds they auto-renew unless you actively cancel, silently draining the wallet. The ordering app pre-checks the usual combo, so the hand slides to confirm without thought. The barista notes most customers just tap confirm, letting the default dictate the spend. A bright badge flashes thousands of recent buyers, creating instant pressure to join the crowd. The salesperson reveals the counter is fabricated, yet the urge to buy remains. Each loot box pop-up promises a rare skin, triggering a dopamine spike with every win. The developer explains the random reward schedule keeps players spending, looping the cycle. You treat a tax refund like free money, even though it's just cash you earned earlier. That's mental accounting. We label money differently, and it tricks us into spending more. A jacket slashed to $120 feels like a steal, right? But the original price was inflated, anchoring your perception and nudging you to spend. $5 a day for coffee adds up to nearly $2,000 a year. That tiny latte factor silently drains your savings without you noticing. Knowing the tricks gives you an edge, but the house still has the advantage. Awareness slows the loss, yet you'll still tap buy now unless you catch yourself. Your phone lists dozens of active subscriptions you barely remember. Those tiny renewal alerts turn free trials into silent monthly drains. A tap feels painless, so you spend without the sting of cash. That pain of paying gap lets digital wallets push you to buy more. Seeing $99 after a $200 original price makes you think you've snagged a deal. That anchor skews your value perception, pushing you to spend despite the real cost. When users sign up for services, systems often set default options that guide spending. Here, a paid add-on is pre-selected and emphasized, making it easy to enroll without conscious choice. The system reinforces this choice with immediate feedback, creating a seamless experience that nudges users towards spending without questioning the defaults. Sale notifications trigger a neurochemical reward, releasing dopamine that makes spending feel exciting. The app celebrates this action, reinforcing the behavior. This cycle of instant gratification creates a loop, where each notification strengthens the urge to spend, driven by the brain's reward system. Social media amplifies spending by showcasing others' choices. Seeing peers make purchases can create pressure to follow suit, influenced by perceived popularity. The visibility of others' spending can normalize unnecessary buys, making it easier to justify similar decisions based on social validation. People often categorize money differently, treating unexpected funds like tax refunds as found money to justify larger purchases without guilt. This mental framing allows unnecessary spending to feel justified, as the money is perceived as separate from regular budgeted funds. A year-end summary reveals how small triggers add up. Each default, sale, or impulse buy contributes to a larger financial impact over time. The system's influence is evident in the total, showing how repeated small decisions compound into significant costs annually. Small daily purchases like coffee or apps may seem insignificant, but compounding them over a year reveals a substantial financial drain. These micro-expenses accumulate rapidly. What appears trivial daily can total thousands annually, highlighting the power of compounding small costs. Forgetting subscriptions is common. These recurring charges often go unnoticed, silently draining money month after month without immediate awareness. Subscriptions represent the latte factor on autopilot. Their cumulative effect can be as damaging as daily small purchases, draining funds silently. Cash activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Tapping a card feels like nothing. That's why you spend more digitally. Digital payments remove the friction that would normally stop you. The system wants you numb to spending. Shopping hits your brain like a slot machine. Anticipation, click, purchase, dopamine spike, then crash. You chase that high. That 3-second buzz is why you keep buying stuff that leaves you emptier than before. Every haul video and worth it post is engineered to make you feel behind. FOMO is the point. You're not buying because you need it, you're buying because someone else has it. That $200 crossed out next to $140 makes you feel smart. But the product was never worth $200. The system doesn't just remove pain, it manufactures the feeling of winning. Every single step was a trigger. Subscription renewal, coffee run, sale ad, lunch app, snack ad, game microtransaction, delivery order. Each trap alone is powerful. Together they form an inescapable machine operating on you 24/7. You'll never outsmart the machine completely, but now you know the buttons it's pressing. That doesn't make you immune. It just means you'll lose a little slower and maybe catch yourself. That $7 latte seems small, but daily microspends compound into hundreds every month. From morning coffee to evening subscriptions, the system never stops triggering you. You spot a forgotten $12.99 streaming charge on your phone, and it suddenly feels like a hidden leak in your budget. That set and forget subscription was draining money, so you cancel it, cutting the silent drain before it empties your wallet. You feel a literal cringe as the credit card vibrates, the brain's pain of paying signal kicking in before the $3 snack. That tiny discomfort is a built-in brake, but the system still nudges you forward, so you decide whether to bite the cash. Your gym membership auto-renews by default, and the blinking checkout button silently confirms the spend. You switch the option off, proving defaults matter once you notice them. You can stop the invisible charge.